difficult question of who's going to win the whole qualifier, but who are you favoring to win game one, fam?
I would rather be leaning onto BandaNoone. I would rather play their draft, not gonna lie, right? Because you have everything on their side. You have rotations, you have solid lanes, you have amazing late game, good roach potential, solid tower pushing, everything that a draft would need. Spirit, they have a lot of tempo, and I think Spirit is the type of team that are going to be able to recognize this one, but considering that in Eastern Europe the games tend to be a little bit longer, I think that doesn't necessarily favor the Alchemist all that much. So let's say that the Radiant side is going to be, from my side, slightly favored.
I'm completely with you on that one, especially your point about the Alchemist. But we shall see. Satanic, tagged up as king, wants to be able to demonstrate that he is not taking on this Yatoro Lentil lightly, live up to the great legacy left by the amazing carry player. Probably, what, top 2 carry players all time, right? It's Yatoro and Ame?
Well, I would put Yatoro at 1, but... Sure. Since we have a China guy here, I'm gonna be okay with putting Ame in the same pool.
I could hear you searching for your words to be like, how badly can I offend this guy?
Yeah, I was trying, right? But no. Didn't wake up feeling savage today.
Don't worry, brother. We're together for the next few days.
Yep. There's gonna be one day when I wake up. Okay, I choose violence. Snare is now gone.
So talk to me about this lane, these lanes right now that we see. Mid lane, Invoker versus Sniper. I imagine Sniper is gonna be super happy with this setup, right?
Sniper is always happy. I don't know if there's a matchup that this hero loses. So even though Invoker is a pretty solid laner, I think you should be able to pressure him. The only thing that might come to mind, though, no one was always regarded. It's not like that anymore. There's not that big of a discrepancy in skill, but no one was always regarded as like the laner. And Larl, I think laning stage is actually his, his weakest link. So maybe, just maybe because of that, no one can do well in this lane.
Makes sense to me. Down bottom, we see Malik and the Morana right behind him. Ru making his debut here for Team Spirit. And they're taking on the DK Enchantress. That, on paper, just sounds miserable to play into. It feels like you just can't do anything to these heroes. Super tanky DK, this Enchantress running around with these Nature's Attendants. Yeah, you're gonna harass them, but can you actually stop them from getting the farm they want on this DK?
No, he's gonna farm. The thing is that you probably cannot stop the Kunkka, even though generally he doesn't like playing versus either of these heroes. You have a Mirana and the Kunkka, so you will be shoving in the wave, and we are gonna be seeing 9 class going down. This is what we talked about. This top lane, the Alchemist and the Jakiro, just how powerful they can be.
Like you mentioned, the first 3 levels needs to be putting that pressure out onto DM. They're doing so right now. Liposhka, nice little segue through these brambles. Can't catch me, baby. I play this hero too. I know what's up.
Yep. Though when they changed it to 0.3 seconds to come online with the brambles, it has become significantly easier to get the connection.
Solid start there. This Kunkka down bottom, like you mentioned, they shouldn't be able to really stop him from farming either. He'll get his farm. It's going to be down to the laning prowess of Crystallis to see if he can get enough denies to at least make Kunkka not feel super happy with the lane. And so far, he is doing okay in the CS department. Ahead of the Kunkka, but Kunkka also about to hit level 3, so will easily catch up afterwards.
How did they both have 5 denies? How did the Dragonite allow 5 of his creeps to get denied? You cannot do that. Just smack him in the face. That's what you do. If it's a mid lane between the Dragonite and the Kunkka, you literally just smack him.
Stun thrown out onto DM. But we have now gotten to the point where DM's about to get level 3. So the window for Team Spirits to put the screws out onto the Timbersaw is closing. But overall, they've gotten what they wanted. Right? King sitting close to the top of the CS department, only
mid
behind
lane?
Larl, and Larl might get solo killed middle. Oh my god, you were mentioning it that no one is the laning guy. He demonstrated in the mid lane, getting that kill. Miboshka might die in the top lane, and indeed he does on the Jakiro. So very quickly, we see the side here of BandaNoone getting 2 kills, but the most important one, a solo kill mid, Harry. Solo kill with Invoker on Sniper. I feel like that should not be allowed to happen.
No, really not. And this is the thing. Usually you see the Sniper pushing the Invoker out of the lane, but I think this comes down to the two players, and Larl is not going to be happy. So the way that Team Spirit dealt with Larl's below what you would expect mid lane is that Mira and Collapse were very consistent in their lane, and now you don't have that. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue.
Larl already being marinated down to half HP. Can go grab a water rune, so we should be okay, but now no one has the net worth advantage. Got that earlier kill. Pretty much equivalent in the CS department as well, which is also something I rarely see. No one just going back. Tornado committed onto Larl with the cold snap. Bramble Maze will be there, and the Shadow Realm hit from Nightfrost kills off the Sniper. Bottom lane, they almost killed Malik on the Kunkka. Does manage to survive with a sliver of HP. But out of nowhere, BandaNoone here, Harry. They are making this early game look exquisite for their lineup.
Beautiful. They know exactly what's up and how they need to play. They recognize that their lanes are stronger, and they're starting to pressure. Usually level 1, 2, it's not going to be a big deal, but as the levels start ramping up, it is going to be looking great. Alchemist is farming well, and that is the one thing that you have going for you. His laning phase is very important. No, not again.
They're going back for Larl. Cold snap out, and they got the Brambles. He does manage to move through them, but even bringing in Ducalis, Blood Grenade thrown out, another Shadow Realm hit. And that's a killing spree for the Dark Widow. They will lose Ducalis underneath the tier 1 tower. The arrow from Rue connected flush on that one. Some kind of trade happening middle, but yet again, it's Larl dead. And the worst part about this, Harry, he TP'd middle. He's gonna have to waddle his little ass back to the tower after he respawns.
Yeah, I've got little legs, and that's how it's gonna be now. While he's walking, maybe somebody buys a smoke for him. Lucky it is nighttime, so we'll be a little bit faster.
Well. This early game, amazing for BandaNoone and Malik. He's all alone right now in the bottom lane. Needs to be careful. They're trying to find the angle for the Centaur Conqueror Stomp. Fortunately for Malik, he reads the situation quite well. Gets out of dodge, but the scary thing is, look how far he's fallen in the CS department. 10 up on the DK right now.
I don't think you even need to be going there. Kunkka is hard to kill, but the DK outfarms him. He pushes him out of the lane, constantly smacks him. It is not a place that you need to be with the Enchantress. You could be farming or ganking. Either one is fine.
Enchantress is going to try again. She's coming bottom. Looking for this potential kill. At the same time, in the top lane, they're making a move to hopefully catch one of these Radiant heroes. And it's DM. He gets stunned at the last second. Satanic got off the concoction just before it stunned him. The arrow connects as well, and DM will end up dead. That's a Starfall kill. Amazing stuff coming out. Down bottom, Malik is Kunkka. Kunkka's dying. That they already stunned him. They don't have anything left to cancel out the TP. Dude, why did they give Admiral's Rum as an idiot? Come on. This was not necessary. Mid lane, this is also not necessary. The amount of pressure they're putting onto Larl. Tornado now thrown in on top of him. He gets brought down. And that is the Sniper suffering his 4th death of the game, 7 minutes in.
At this point, it's bullying, right? And it's bullying just because of his height. It's not nice coming out from their side. BandaNoone, not a bunch of nice guys as I thought. And they even get more.
Yep. They got the kill earlier. They collect some interest on the Mirana as well. And this is a Mirana that they would ideally like to get to the level 6 as soon as possible. But they need to press in that regard now. Top lane, another stun going on onto DM. It stuns both him and Satanic, and draws a lot of damage that came in from the Timber Chain.
But there's so many trees there nowadays, and I cannot believe how much Whirling Death is doing damage. Usually in the laning stage, we see people just losing half of their HP.
So with this 2K gold lead, talk to me about what Team Spirit should be doing next. Like, what's their port of call before they feel comfortable trying to make a move to restabilize this game?
You should constantly be running towards your Alchemist. He's the one that you want to keep the tower for a very long period of time. The thing is that BandaNoone are doing something completely different. They're forcing you to stay in the mid lane by pushing this tower.
Going on to Larl again. They catch him with the Bramble Mazes. My boy Larl, what did he do? Did he talk some trash in some pubs? You know, does he owe some of these homies money? Like, damn, lol. I've met you before. You're a nice guy. What could you possibly have done to deserve this degree of bullying?
Yeah, Larl is not your pub flamer, right? So I don't think that's the case. I think they just recognized after no one got that kill that this is now the weak link of Team Spirit, that this is where they can force out so much rotations and even get a lot of gold. Plus, you open up the mid lane tower, it opens up for ganking potential, and that will make the Alchemist feel not as safe on the map overall.
Harry Freak, when was the last time that you saw an Invoker having pretty much the same net worth as an Alchemist at 10 minutes?
When I saw an Alchemist support and Invoker having a really bad time, so...
Team Spirit gonna work a little bit of overtime to protect this tier 1 tower. Ru is sitting in behind, so is Miposhka. So like you said, they want to make sure that they have as much space on the map as possible, but this is a significant investment in resources. It does mean that Malik and the Alchemist have to play a little bit more carefully whilst they're making this defensive move.
Yep, you need your levels on the supports right now, so you are gonna be waiting for that. You might want the Solar Flare before the next big fight, because really the Sniper isn't doing any damage. Look at him, he's support territory at the moment, so he needs help.
Doesn't even have power trades, bro. 10 minutes power trades on a Sniper. Oof.
It's coming. It's okay, he'll be fine after 20 minutes of farming. This is one of those games where we might see a Gleipnir on the Sniper instead of just people going for a Mjolnir, right? Because you're not getting away with being greedy.
Definitely not. And speaking of greed, the supports on the side of BandaNoone want to be able to bring down this Mirana. Do they have the damage for it? Just need a Shadow Realm hit, and it will arrive. That's going to be 9 class being credited with the kill.
This mid lane tower is gone, right? I don't think you can do much with the Timber Saw being in the vicinity. Plus the tower is super low. You defending it might be dangerous.
Miposhka, he's going to be the one to reveal that danger. And there's the Timber, DM, Timber chaining from the north. Easily able to corral around Jakiro. And Miposhka will end up dead. 2 supports brought down, plus a tier 1 tower in this mid lane. This could literally not be going better. If you were to write a script on how the perfect early game should be for BandaNoone, this is exactly what the game would look like.
Yep, awesome, for sure, right? And now, if you're Spirit, you don't really have the damage, right? You were relying on your Sniper winning the laning phase, and it went the opposite. He's being doubled by the Invoker now. So you cannot even bring 2 cores together and play because you're not going to be getting the kills, or it's going to be very hard. Okay, Crystallis is too deep.
Okay, they're going to bring all the cores, not just 2 of them. Every single hero shows up. Except the Alchemist bottom. They get the kill on Crystallis. A little bit too deep for my liking there with the DK. But, you know, I know you're a support player. I'm a carry player, man. It's always like this. You're having a good game. You know, you're feeling really strong. You're like, guys, what are these scrubs really going to do? They're all so weak right now, man. I can take a little bit of an additional risk. And then you get hard punished for it. And you just say, guys, my bad. I'm sorry.
That is exactly when I have to play carry how I do it, right? Because I don't really have the feel of what I can get away with. And I'm like, yeah, these scrubs are weak. What are you going to do to me when I have all of these items? Let's go, right? And then this is the result. But Crystallis should have read that one. If he had a full armlet, I'd be maybe down with him attempting that. But this is just way too greedy.
Speaking of greed, mid lane, not going to be allowed to be greedy because he's playing into a Bedlam from 9 class. Kills him off. They might be able to get revenge here. The arrow connects onto 9 class, and this is a not insignificant kill. That's a mega kill streak, but unfortunately goes the way of Miposhka. Yes, this Jakiro is super poor, but man, Malik would really have been able to use some of that net worth.
No, usually we would say, okay, they killed the core and then their support died. It's fine. No. The Spirit took out a hero with more net worth, so win for Spirit. Let's go.
Oh man, they have an observer ward that's scouting out to Carlos right now, so they can also try and put pressure onto him. This should be a kill. They have enough magic damage to make this happen, annoying as the Enchantress is. However, that did cost 2 ultimates, Macropire as well as the full Admiral boat. But I guess at this stage of the game, you're just glad to get whatever scraps you can get from BandaNoone.
Yeah, it does look like They want to be Crystallis. Okay, it's fine. They want to be waiting for the pipe and then go together on BandaNoone, and it is giving opportunities for these pickoffs. And finally, they go for a smoke. Oh, Alchemist will stun himself.
But unfortunately, Alchemist, the self-stun, and no one sees it. Oh no, worst case scenario. My boy Satanic. Yatoro is not happy right now watching wherever he's at. They lose the Alchemist, and they want to go for more. DM diving onto Roof, forcing him back away from the fight. They did kill off the drop widow, though, and no one will eat the assassinate. A lot of damage going his way. In the meantime, though, DM just holding them all back, diving in. He's surrounded by 3 heroes, and eventually, without any support, they do have enough to kill him off. 2-for-1 exchange here. Arrow connecting directly onto the Enchantress. Ducalis probably going to end up dead. In the meantime, there was a Sunstrike kill onto Rue, but he's done his job, got the setup, but they don't have the damage.
He's alive.
Harry Freak, he's alive. This is why we see Enchantress so many games. But Malik says, fine. I'll commit the full spells. I'll do everything we need to do. Ducalis finally takes over, and it's a 1 fight, the first one of the game that Team Spirit really feel confident about.
The thing is that you need to get Laurel back into the game, and the only reason the Team Spirit are even getting some in these fights is the arrows coming out from Rue. Sure, some of them are set up by an X, but most of them he's been able to hit, even once on a hasted Dark Willow. So this Mirana is really, at the moment, keeping them afloat. And also, what the hell is with the Kaya? Why didn't he go for a pipe? That Kaya, I think, just cost him his life. He had a pipe back there, or even a cloak and +1 item. I think DM survives.
Yeah. I'm also not really sure about this Kaya. But DM, you know, he's Grandmaster on the hero. Must know some tech that we don't. Actually, now that I think about it, right, there have been a lot of games where I've seen Timber, and 2 heroes in particular, Timber and the Shadow Fiend, get absolutely ruffle stomped or have just really strange mid games when they go for this Kaya rush. It feels like unless you're playing Storm Spirit, maybe this item is a trap to go for first.
Yeah, even on a storm, it can backfire sometimes. I just don't think it's something you should go for, right? You didn't really need more damage. You knew that the enemies are lacking in that department, and instead of making every single one of your heroes unkillable, you were a bit greedy. I would be down with it if they weren't trying to fight as much.
Speaking of fights, one might be coming in towards them now. They headed in Team Spirit without even smoking. This is a very brazen attempt to invade this triangle. They're gonna steal away this stack. Does not seem like the side of BandaNoone.
Smoke is coming.
This. But here's the smoke. 4 heroes coming in now with the smoke. DM, he can be the one to scout things out in advance. But look at this path they're taking, Harry. They're going for the overhead wrap, and now they're going to see Kunkka isolated from the rest of his team. DK blinking in directly onto Laurel. Laurel, the sniper, should end up dead, and now Kunkka isolated on the high ground. They need to help him. Satanic, he's come in, but Satanic doesn't deal enough damage just yet. But with the stuns and the magic damage from Miposhio, it's going to be enough to kill off this Invoker. Now here goes Satanic, the king himself, getting an additional kill. He wants to throw in the stun. He gets it onto both 2 heroes, Enchantress and the Crystallis on the DK. Rue will have Arrow again available if he wants to commit it. Looking for the right angle. They would love to find Crystallis. Crystallis! He walked back into the ice path! What the hell was that? Crystallis! Oh no! He gives up his life, Harry. Makes it a 4-hero fight. And Team Spirit happy to have sacrificed their cause because they finally get an advantage in this game.
Pretty big for them, and again, it comes down to the arrows, right? Invoker would have been able to just leave, run away from the Alchemist if the arrow hadn't hit him. Now you get a connection onto the Dragonite as well. I think what happened to Crystallis there is that he clicked, well, Sunstrike off the mark. It's still a dead Laurel. No way. But what happened is he clicked on the minimap. That's why I know that other game that we don't talk about it, that it has the map on the right side, but it seems to be superior. Even though I'm used to it, I'm never putting my map on the right side. It is definitely superior in Dota in terms of moving around.
Yeah, I agree. I've experimented with playing it on the right side, and it felt a lot better, but muscle memory is the thing, you know. Been playing this game for too long to make too many changes.
Yep. Plus, we are not gonna be we're not gonna be betraying the OG Warcraft Dota, right? So
exactly.
That's the main thing.
Loyalty. Well,
exactly.
So what do we make of the game state right now? It was a very good fight from them. It does enable this Alchemist to pretty much finish off his BKB. It gives Laurel access to having his Aghanim shot. He's going to just buy that heads up right now. And of course, it gave Kunkka a lot of progress towards having the Aghanim Scepter. Does that change the overall flow of the game that we're witnessing at the moment?
For sure, right? Because the lineup of BandaNoone was supposed to be very strong from minute 15 to 20. That's how it goes with the Timber lineups. You survive from 8 to 15 minutes just by pressuring, and then from 15 minutes you get your first item, you walk into the enemies like, what the hell are you gonna do? And because they didn't have that pipe, because they couldn't posture as aggressively and lost a couple of fights, they gave a chance to Spirit. It's still solid for BandaNoone, but Spirit have been given a chance to come back.
You know, how many times in our lives have we been like, a game that Spirit was getting absolutely stomped early, suddenly they get this one chance to maybe come back, and usually when it's Team Spirit, it's not a maybe, it becomes like a guarantee. The worse the game, the better the comeback. I don't know how this team consistently does it over so many years.
It just has to be the guys in the back that we don't see. Miposhka and okay, Miposhka we do see, but Silent that has been with the team for a very long period of time. Coaches have become more important than ever. They're really people that change the team.
Bottom lane, Lal getting aggressed onto again. No one happy to reveal his BKB. Surrounded by these heroes. The X marks will be there. Will it be long enough? Woo! Baby, 9-second BKB for the win. Literally the last second kept him alive.
Yeah, the last millisecond. I thought it was over for the Invoker, that he's gonna get brought back, but just in the nick of time, the BKB did prevail. Oh boy. I thought it was gonna be one of those buy a Yules moments, but he didn't really have the money.
Well, this is one of these games we just saw there. Ladies and gentlemen, please buy BKB on your core heroes. Please and thank you.
Yeah, this Invoker is a problem, right? Even though the Dragonite might not be looking that strong in an Invoker this farm, you very rarely see it. And when you do, it is insane how much damage he can do. It is not gonna be easy playing versus him. He might not even be alacritying the Dragonite in this game, but himself.
Dude, look at this, right? No one is level 15. Laurel is level 10.
Laurel is the lowest level, you know.
Wow. Nah, man. After this game, we got to ask in chat, like, what did Laurel do? Like, this seems personal at this point.
Yeah, we will. You know, I always want to ask the players something after they've had a bad game, but it feels like I'm gonna be disrespectful to them. And you know, even if I was, let's say we were friends, and I still ask him, it could be read the wrong way. So maybe tomorrow we're gonna be, Laurel, what did you do? Like, what did you do to them?
Bro, be like me. I was flaming gunner. I went, one of my homies, I asked him, I was like, bro, what the hell were you doing in this game, man? Like, what was your plan? Why did you do this? But you're a nicer guy than me, so it makes sense.
Okay. So I'm guessing Dota players can take some jokes, and you know what the problem is, that Laurel is in Serbia, right? So I don't want him knocking on my door, so I'm gonna refrain.
If you flame, you must flame from the other side of the world. I see.
Yep, exactly. It's easy for you, right? On another continent, like ha.
No. I told him this to his face. I went to him, I found him, and I was like, bro, what were you doing? Like, no, it's so bad.
Okay, now I respect you more. I thought that you were one of those guys, but good job.
No. I keep my flame in real life.
Easy.
So, Kunkka just picked up an Aghanim Scepter. I feel like this could make a huge difference, because at this moment in time, there are 2 BKBs practically available for the Radiant lineup, but we're very far from, we're not going to have a Timber BKB. These supports can actually now be caught out. Shadow Realm not going to help you. Enchantress has to be more careful with her positioning. I'm not sure they're fully ready to fight just yet, but if they can keep this item hidden, they could really surprise the side of BandaNoone with the next engagement.
Well, now you do have a pipe, right? We saw it there on the screen. The Timber saw that pick it up, and this is the thing that can change fights completely. Because still, a lot of the damage that you do from Team Spirit is this overtime magic damage. Radiance, Macropyre, Boat, Shrapnel. You know, if you counter those things, they might run out of damage at some point. Especially versus the heroes like a Timbersaw and the Dragonite.
Speaking of the Dragonite, he's smoked up right now with the Invoker and the support cost. Yet again, DM is the one leading the charge. hoping that they take the bait jump on him. But here's Miposhka. Unfortunately, he's going to be the one to eat the gank. That being said, they committed a dragon form for this. I mean, they probably still get the tier 2 tower, but Malik is just glad he's not the one that got caught out by that guy.
No one is hunting.
No one is indeed hunting. Top lane, they find Rue. Tornado will be there with the cold snap. The ice wall was out, but they should just have more than enough damage. This is a Mirana playing position 4. She ran out of leap charges. She has no options in that situation.
It still took them too long. They wanted to kill that Mirana and then run back to the Dragonite. That was the idea, so that they can kill the tier 2. But because it took them a little bit longer to kill the Mirana, now it's very hard to make it happen. So this Dragon form is just gonna be a Jakiro kill and a little bit of farm.
You see Chrysalis heading himself in for an AC next. Dude, AC on the DK plus no one's alacrity onto whoever the target's gonna be. This is a lot of right-click damage all of a sudden coming out from the BandaNoone lineup.
Oh boy, Larl is going for a BKB. He has a shard and then a BKB. He's just hoping for this now 25-minute mark so that his Wraith bands start doing something. It is a sad place to be.
Yeah, to be relying on Wraith bands as mid-sniper. And the worst part about this, he doesn't have a farming item. There's no Maelstrom on him or anything. Doesn't even have a D-Lance or whatever. It's going to be a tough game, I feel like, for the rest of this proceedings for LoL. They need to go uber late before the sniper's going to have massive impact. At this point, you just accept you're playing support. It's fine. I'm playing pos 4. I'll deal with it.
And on by a BKB. Get a negative scepter or something and... Oof. It is nighttime. Okay, he's giving vision. He has some impact.
Almost caught no one in the top lane, but they did not have any reveal. It was cores that were ahead of him. The Mirana is carrying a dust, but she's very far behind, and now they just jump onto Satanic! They blow up the Alchemist. BKB now active for the Invoker, and look who it is. Law got caught by the Tornado. Crystallis chasing the sniper into the trees, but his BKB is now over. He's losing a lot of HP. This DK in danger right now. The Solar Flare damage from the Mirana doing work. They do eventually get the kill, but now though, what else can they find in this engagement? Sunstrike going out will not land onto Law. No one really wants to kill him, but now Rowan as well has lost most of his HP. Law will eventually die. Another multi-hero torrent coming in from Malik. Malik,
it's fine.
They have reveal onto this Invoker. Invoker, he gets away because they bring down Malik. The Kunkka does die. Lone survivor in this fight is Miposhka. He's on the high ground right now. Ducala is trying to throw in this impetus shots, but at least it seems for now that this Jakiro should be able to retreat to safety. Unfortunately, Harry Freak, this happened just as a Sea Dragon wave was coming in, but they don't feel confident in going to the high ground, even with the numerical advantage they command right now.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna try and take down the mid tier 2. The thing is, when you kill the Alchemist, it makes your eyes turn red, right? You're like, well, let's go. The thing is, after the Solar Flare was used, you could have reset and gone again, and then Team Spirit would have been helpless. But it is what it is, right? You think we've taken literally half of the net worth of the enemy team. The Alchemist has the same amount as the Kunkka and the Sniper combined, and then you think that the enemies don't have anything to give. Solar Flare is just that good of a spell. A level 13 Sniper without a single item has just murdered almost the entirety of your team.
And now we start to actually go back to what this game would have looked like if Sniper had a better start. Bro, imagine if Sniper actually had a Maelstrom in that fight. Like, they would have eaten them alive. He survived for so long. The one detriment is just not just how underfarmed, but underleveled as well that he was in that situation. And now they're going directly on top of him. Sunstrike with the Bedlam from 9 class. That is a dead LOL Sniper. And he still hasn't finished his BKB. That's going to delay the timing even longer right now.
1 and 10. He has 10 deaths. More than anybody on the map. Double the anybody on the map.
Oof. Normally Sniper is the hero that you rely on to be able to like just sit back, not get killed off. Aegis goes away on this lineup on the Radiant side. Crystallis grabs it, and King, he jumped onto this Invoker. They want to kill no one, but he gets off his BKB. They just don't have the damage all by their lonesomes. And now with this BKB, no one turning towards this Mirana. They do manage to find the Terrorize. They cancel the TP out. In the meantime, Malik also caught in the middle of the lane, killed off by no one. And that is 2 more deaths, 3 in total. And Team Spirit What are you supposed to do right now? You're fading into an Aegis as well. You still don't have BKB on the sniper. The BKB on the Alchemist is now down to 7 seconds. I don't know what the options are for the upcoming engagements.
Yeah, very low amount of options, really. That was a good call to go, right? Because they saw that Roche was dying and just made a attempt onto no one. The problem is Solar Flare got used, you didn't get a single kill. Even when your heroes come back, you are incapable of winning the fight. That spell is pretty much your only damage right now. Even the Alchemist is starting to fall off.
Also, the location they took that fight in, just in front of this mid lane, and they still have a tier 1 tower. It made it way too easy for these heroes to just reposition, come back in. And you were mentioning it in the draft, how difficult a game it is for heroes like Alchemist when they don't have an open map to play with, and they still don't have a single tier 1 tower taken, a single one, Harry. 29 minutes into the game, they will have all the real estate available on the Radiant lineup. They're trying maybe for this DK, Malik going for the wraparound, but it's a DK with Aegis, BKB, Omelets, AC not far away. I don't think you're getting that kill any day of the week.
Dude, I think they relied on the sniper doing so well that he was going to be able to take down at least the tier 1s, and then the Alchemist is going to be taking over. But I think after the sniper had such a bad laning stage that the game became, I want to say, impossible to play, right? Because BandaNoone didn't play without a mistake. I think they could have gone pipe. I think they could have dodged a couple of those arrows, not get picked off, increase their lead even more, and even with those mistakes, it felt like Spirit had absolutely no chance in this game.
Smoke up. This observer wall that they're playing into has given them so much vision. They saw the Kunkka, they saw the sniper, but those Team Spirit heroes did leave, did not feel safe in this area. And the smoke won't gain them anything on the Radiant lineup, but they are now yet again repositioned. You can take the tier 2 tower. They've been struggling for this for a while, but here comes Team Spirit. Big smoke coming in from them. They have the BKB on the sniper, but who do you go on? Who's your target here?
Nobody's
is this
close.
DK and Dragon Knight. Chrysalis? Chrysalis actually just blinked onto the high ground, but they have the vision, but they really don't want to jump him. Still another 2 minutes with this Aegis. You see that play that he made bottom that got him killed? This was the state of the game he was wanting to make that happen with. Now
Exactly.
He's like, yeah guys, I can play overconfident and y'all can't actually do anything.
Yeah, that was very smart from their side as well, right? Spirit are never gonna jump the Dragon Knight if they don't know exactly where the enemies are at, and they were just farming the entire Dragon Knight. But Spirit, granted, they do have really good wards, and now they're gonna be jumping on the Dark Willow. It's a good catch.
They should be able to find this kill. The question is, do they get out of this one? Chrysalis, he came forth as well, forced to pop his BKB. It looks like BandaNoone might want to vacate this fight. No one thinking about going forward. He's just invoked the tornado, making a consideration, but someone else on the team has made the call that, guys, we don't actually need to be here. This is not a fight that we have to be forced to take. He is underneath a sentry ward now, though. He gets away from the arrow. The X marks the spot, won't really connect onto anything. Shiva's Guard thrown in right now by DM. It slows up Malik, and Malik will die. No BKB available for that Kunkka. The Pushka didn't get caught with the Sunstrike, but the big target that they really want is going to be the sniper. He's on the far side. Mirana able to leap away. Crystallis chasing. Not getting anything just yet, as these ghost ships raining in onto DM, stalling out the timber from chasing forward. And then now that's going to isolate Crystallis right next to Laurel. Laurel able to take away the first life here, as no one cleans up this Jakiro down bottom. King, Satanic jumped in. Big burst coming in from him, but unfortunately, the damage output of BandaNoone is way too damn high. The stun looked decent, the initiation looked okay, but the BandaNoone heroes are just too far ahead. GG, well played is called. Team Spirit end up losing game number 1. The BandaNoone, the clinic they put on onto the mid sniper is just way too much.
Yep.
Playing relative to the Alchemist in the previous game, because like when you're playing these Alchemist style heroes, these heroes that sort of peak in the mid game, if that peak comes and goes without you having massive impact, you kind of feel really bad. You're like, what do we do now? You're forced into Hail Mary plays. But if you have Morphling on your team, you know, even if the mid game is going south, you're like, you know what, we can figure this out, gang. We can figure this out. King will be able to carry us in the late game.
And the Kal is throwing some shade to Malik, like, Timber, I think the idea is this the only hero that you can play? But it's nice to have it. I would assume these two teams are on solid terms, right? That there's no big bad blood between them.
mean, Ducalis and Malik played on a team for like the better part of a year last year, so
Yep.
certainly know each other well. It's just some memes. And besides, nobody gives you more trash than your homies, right?
That's how it should be. Really how it should be.
What do you make of these wards that have been planted out in this aggressive smoke that came in from BandaNoone?
Let's see, what do they want to do with that? I guess the idea is to find the Sand King when he's going to farm, because they know that he's going to be losing the mid lane. So again, they're focusing in the mid lane, and I think that between these two teams that this is the way to go, just because no one is so good at laning, and Laurel, as we mentioned, it is his the weak part of his gameplay.
King outclicked DM on the top side of the map to make sure that they split these BandaNoone 2 and 2. And now the game will get going. We might have a first blood though. Miposhka gets scouted out, but he goes for Ducalis first. Rue hit him with the scatter blast. Do they have the damage to bring down this Chen? And they should. First blood going the way of Rue. Nicely done on the Snapfire. Team Spirit playing aggressively early on. This is vintage Team Spirit, making sure that they find the first kill and then start to play aggressively in these early lanes.
Yep, very smart play, very solid way to get your first blood, and because you started off with this Aether convert, I mean that one isn't really gonna help you when they go for it. Oh no, they're burning my mana. Like nobody really cares.
The only oh no, they're burning my mana moment we've ever seen, the biggest one rather, was TI 9, where Thompson bought like the Aghanim Diffusal on Gyrocopter.
Yes, versus the Bristleback. It was, dude. If I would lose that way, there would be no more PC or monitor. Right? Like no way, because there was no way you win that game. That was the only path to victory, and they found it.
Well, we're gonna put the painful memories away for a while as you see these laning phases unfold. Top lane, we have this Dank Willow next to the Omni Knights, and they just chilling because King just wants to farm as much as possible on the Morphling. They did almost bring down Crystallis here. You know, we were speaking in the previous game about how the first few levels are really difficult for the Timbersaw. This game seems inverted. The first few levels seem really hard for this DK before he gets more tanky with the Worm Pod.
Well, Malik was just trying to spam spells as much as possible because he knows that the mana burn is going to be kicking in. So that's why the Dragonite was getting low. But you cannot really kill him, and you are not farming all that well because you're just trying to do damage to the Dragonite to slow him down.
So, a bit of a CS war down bottom. Let us take a quick gander at this mid lane where... Whoo!
Don't.
Woo!
Go top,
Laurel,
go
buddy.
top. Keep it.
It's a tough day at the office, but...
Keep it family friendly, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, man. Poor Laurel, man. Being more than doubled up in the CS department right now. Top lane.
It is a problem, for sure. Do you think Miposhka, when he talked about his burnout, maybe had to do with constantly living with the same people, where maybe he wanted the change of scenery?
I guess that could be a thing, right? Because you do often get energized by like new things. And you're like, oh, maybe I still love Dota again. I just got over my team at the time.
Girls better at picking flowers here than boys. That's why the Dark Willow wins. Also missed on that Shadow Realm attack, which is a bummer. King would have lost at least 2 or 3 more damage, needing to morph even more to strength.
Speaking of the Morphling, what kind of build do we anticipate from him in this game?
I mean, you're gonna go Manta. The thing is, do you go for the Vlads? Okay, he has queued it up. I think the Vlads might be a necessity for him to help to push down the towers. Let's say when the Chen is pushing on one side, that you are on the other helping your team get a tower as well. And then, of course, Manta. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we can list all the reasons that you need a Manta for in this game, which there are many. But as a Morphling, it is a have-to-go-for item for sure.
Yep.
Oh,
Not
boy,
building
Laurel.
Manta on that hero is like playing Weaver and not building Gleipnir. Illegal gameplay.
You mean playing Dota and not building Gleipnir?
Exactly. Top lane, Miposhka might end up getting a kill here onto 9 class. They're chasing around this Dark Willow. But now they come in. Satanic, waveform forward. Can he cancel out the healing
Doesn't have
cell?
mana.
Yes, he can. One more right click is all they need, and they get it. Miposhka credited with the kill. Omni making life a little bit easier in the top lane for them now.
They're sacking Laurel too much, though, right? His camps are blocked. He has noticed it now. He has been trying to go there, but I don't know how he comes back into the game. At least you are getting some kills in the side lanes. The problem is that both the Kunk and the Dragonite are still farming quite well.
Okay, hear me out, right? Remember when Team Spirit first came like big onto the scene when they won TI?
Okay.
When Toronto Tokyo was playing mid, there were several games. It became almost a meme, right? That he would get crushed in lane and then still be able to have massive impact throughout the state of the game itself. So maybe this is the training arc they're putting LOL on. They're like, alright, bro, we need you to play like Toronto. We're not going to help you. Figure this out. Get crushed in lane, but still figure out how to have impact in the game later on.
Well, Poshka gone, and King, he's not gonna follow. The thing is that was the old Team Spirit, right? Because they were very, very good at side lanes, and then they didn't care. Be Toronto, Tokyo, or Laurel. Now they might.
That's true. That's very true. Speaking of the side lanes, Malik falling very, very low. You need to be careful. Crystallis does have access right now to the level 2 Breathe Fire. Gotta watch yourself, buddy. Don't
Yeah,
play
2
two
hits
heads
plus
up into
Breathe
the
Fire.
TK.
He's dead. He has to be careful. Yeah, look at the deny. He has 24 denies. He has more denies than most of the heroes have CS. Look at that, 24 CS on the Timbersaw, 23 on the poor Sand King.
Holy beast. And Sand King is being hunted. 9 class is in his face right now.
Again.
Getting them some vision. The power rune will get spawned out, but it gets denied. No one going in onto Laurel. Laurel falling low, and Ducalis came in from the eastern front. They want the Sand King, and they are going to get him. The question is, do they get out with no one? In fact, they might actually get more. They don't have damage. We spoke about it in the draft. What does Omni Knight do to hurt these heroes? And as soon as Snapfire goes down, they have to retreat. 2 kills for absolutely nothing in favor of BandaNoone.
It feels like we're looking at the replay from the previous game. The movements are the same, just the heroes have been slightly changed, but the idea, it's there. And look at the attack speed. The potato died, and then these creeps, they just demolished the tower.
Oh, that's so funny. Dude, it honestly looked like, I felt like I was looking at a budget solar flare with all that attack speed. It's like, what the hell is happening?
Maybe a budget level 3 solar flare, but a buffed up level 1. That's so much attack speed when the potato. That's a potato. The tomato is the red one. I want to see how much it is. It is actually 120 attack speed.
Not bad, not bad.
Yep.
So just a moonshot, you say? Okay, not bad.
For everybody, for all of the creeps.
Seems fair and balanced to me. I don't see a problem here.
Why would you? And again, look at the difference in net worth between the mid laners. 1.5k 8 minutes in. It's too much.
It's practically doubling him up, and now in the top lane, they're chasing down Miposhka. DM already committed the X though, so with the repel, Miposhka should be fine. I'm not sure we can say the same thing about this tower though, because they even bring in Ducalis from the Twin Gate. They are absolutely committed to getting the first tier 1 of the game. I've been very impressed by how BandaNoone have been playing fast in these early games, man. 8 minutes in, and yet again, like you said, the script for game 1 is being followed, playing aggressively to limit the farm. And Laurel, assassinate, kills him. Oh my goodness, that's his 2nd death of the game. Yeah, it's not getting any easier than game 1, is it?
Not really. Not really. He cannot play. He doesn't have the game. You need to... So now the question is, do you go for a blink and try to play with the Timbersaw and the Snapfire and get kills? Or do you go for like a Yules or Bloodstone would be a wish, I guess, and just hope that you're going to be able to protect the tier 2s for a very long period of time for the Morphling to get strong? I'd rather see a blink just because you're going to have some say what happens in the game. With the Bloodstone, you would literally be at the mercy of BandaNoone making a mistake or overextending.
it's also just more realistic, right? Him getting the Blink Dagger will
Yep.
come a lot faster than getting the Bloodstone or anything like that. So do that, be active with your team. You're not that far away from having like an ultimate maybe on your Mortimer's Kisses with the Snapfire. Shotgun's already available. There is damage, so if they can set that up, I think Blink Dagger is definitely the option to go for.
Yeah, but to set it up, you, as you mentioned, need the blink. You need to be the one starting the fight. If it's an X-boat coming through and then everybody gets drenched in rum on the side of BandaNoone, you don't have the damage. You just don't, because you do not have a constant output of it. After the Epicenter is gone and the Mortimer's Kisses, there's no more damage.
This Kunkka hero gonna provide many problems for Team Spirit to solve. Getting into his Blade Mail. Honestly, you know, last game Blade Mail was good. This game into Sand King, Snapfire, Blade Mail feels so good. Even the Timbersaw as well. Doesn't really want to be playing into a Blade Mail Kunkka.
This repel just continues to be annoying. The thing is, it is such a huge cooldown, and you just use an X and a Torrent, which you don't really care about. So they're just gonna be trying to force it out all the time.
They're picking out this bottom tower. They want to push it in. The DK already forcing in the wave. And this rotation through the triangle. They want to play a bit more riskily. They could try and make the jump onto Malik, but I think the main priority is just pick up the building. Got the Chain Army nearby with you. Crystallis, if he wants to, can prop the Dragon Knight form. The best part about it, no one can sit outside of the tower range and hit the building. Fair and balanced, this sniper hero is.
Of course he is, as he is going for a Maelstrom, so they're probably not going to be pressuring any tier 2s anytime soon. It is more of a farming approach from them. No, don't kill him, please.
The blood feud continues between No One and Laurel. He takes the tower, immediately TPs in. Bro, he hit him twice, hit him with 2 shrapnels and assassinated him, and he was pretty much dead. I thought the Sand King hero was supposed to be tanky.
Well, yeah, when you have good levels, because you do farm super quickly. Your laning phase is quite decent right now, which used to be a huge problem for the Sand King. But when you are in a bad matchup versus a player that's obviously laning-wise superior to you, this is the end result. Oh, very cool Gleipnir game, right? You are versus a Timbersaw, a Sand King, and a Morphling, right? Only one can get repelled. That's why he's going for it. I like this, right? Especially because it's going to make you tanky. You're not going to be doing any Jungle Lance shenanigans and then going for the Mjolnir. You understand just the value of the Gleipnir in this game.
Yeah. It's like what you said. Imagine playing Dota and not buying Gleipnir. Amazing game for this item in this situation. Also, because of how well things have been going, you know that the Sand King is going to be very far from a defensive item. The Timbersaw is probably not going defensive. He's rushing a Kaya, in fact, right now. So the value of this Gleipnir is going to be extended if he's able to pick it up in the next few minutes, which he should be. He's farming very well right now. Net worth leader, taking away all these stacks. And Team Spirit, the onus is now on them. What do we do? Because it can't be like last game. Bro, last game they ended the game without taking a single tower. That cannot happen 2 games in a row.
Well, it's not impossible either. The only question is, do BandaNoone want to defend this bottom tier 1? Right, that is the one that Spirit could possibly take. Oh, Poshka?
I should be fine.
Sure.
Well, the team smoke up behind him. They want to reveal this Blink Dagger. And now they know exactly where Malik is at. The question is, can they catch him? You would love to catch the Chen first, and indeed to Carlos.
Nice smoke.
I think they saw the smoke happening, but they don't feel confident to make the jump. Dude, DM just landed a blind 2-hero torrent. What a player.
Yeah, lucky for them they were in a smoke, because if he had seen that, knowing that the repel was down, you would run in to try to X the Sand King. You X the Sand King, the fight is over.
Unfortunately, the smoke from Team Spirit not going to be yielding any positive returns. They ran around for a while, sacrificed some farm on the Sand King, but haven't really accomplished anything.
Wisdom Rune time, right? This is now BandaNoone. The opportunity has presented itself to be able to steal it.
You see Nightclass already positioning himself in that area, but Team Spirit aware of this type of play as they smoke up again with the 3-hero gank ward. Can they get anybody? Laurel desperately wants some vision. But when you're losing a game, you also start losing the vision
going.
battle. Eventually, though, they get in onto no one. With Morty's kisses raining down on top of him, they will be able to kill this sniper. Nothing that BandaNoone can do about it. And now Malik, feeling confident, he dives forward at the Timber Chain. The fear will be there, but the Barrel Strike prevents additional damage from 9+. And it's going to be the King Satanic who gets himself a double kill.
Stun?
Crystallis does not have a BKB. He's going to get stunned up. He's going to get controlled. And he's going to get killed. 3 heroes brought down. Team Spirit not only defend the tier 2, not only get the Wisdom Rune, but reassert themselves on this map. What an initiation from Law.
Yep, and that is the no hesitation of Team Spirit always. I don't know what it is, but every single player that has ever played for this team under Miposhka and Silent has been very confident when they get a connection. And can they get out?
Nope. Not Omni, but Milik definitely.
So they do want to defend that tower for long, I guess, right? Plus, you do have these 2 very aggressive wards from BandaNoone to the bottom lane. I guess they just weren't expecting 2 smokes in a row. But Team Spirit, that was daytime, right? During daytime, you needed to reduce the goal lead maybe even more. Sure, winning the fight is great. It's better than losing it. But for the next 5 minutes, now it is going to be BandaNoone that have better vision. And you don't really have all that many smokes.
Yep. 2 committed for that last engagement. On the bright side, tier 2 tower didn't suffer any real damage. And the biggest thing is that they got a double kill on this Morphling. This Morphling is still net worth leader in the game. He's pretty much about to finish his Manta style, just needs the recipe at this point. And he's still really problematic. For me, the one big tool that they have against the Morphling is at the very least Crystallis has that Breathe Fire, which has always been a big problem for the Morph. But that being said, once he starts picking up like this Butterfly and stuff, it's going to be really difficult to reliably deal with Satanic in these fights. And speaking of Satanic, I think he knows where the Chen is at. Waveforms into him in the trees. They got him. Carlos is going to end up dead here. Barrow Strike from Laurel. He's like, yeah, it's nice when heroes rotate onto you, right? It's nice, huh? You enjoyed that, didn't you? Very emotional kill from Laurel.
I do think, though, that the Carlos is quite happy with that. It took some time to hunt him down. He still left vision in the area. He was farming quite well, and it was 4 heroes that needed to be committed. You're not going to get a tower for this, and everybody on the other side is just farming safely, knowing where the enemies are at.
It does practically complete the Manta style from Team Spirit, and I think Team Spirit as well, we're listening to you. They want to make sure that they get something more out of that. So here's the aggression onto the tier 1 tower top, still at full HP. We've seen how BandaNoone have been willing to defend their towers in the series already, and that doesn't seem to have changed. Crystallis already here. We're gonna have a potential smoke move from this mid lane.
Needs help.
To help him connect top. They're going directly onto Crystallis. They know he's alone right now. They kill him. Malik finally throws in the boat, but it's a little bit too late. Our DK is gone. 9 class there now with the Bedlam, but the Timber Chain away from this Timber Soul. He's nowhere nearby anymore. No! He Barrow Struck right next to the Sniper who eviscerates him. And now the Sniper is just going for more. Able to pick up a double kill for himself. Can they find the Snapfire? She TPs out to safety. Not being a 2-for-2 engagement there. Core
good for Spirit.
And support for Core. How do you feel about that engagement?
Solid for Spirit because Satanic wasn't part of that fight. He was farming on the bottom lane, shamming it out. And you forced out the rotations, right? So it was BandaNoone that were using their TPs that were getting out of a good position. Plus, I don't know what's with the build on the Dragonite. I mean, I get it with the Mage Slayer, but why are you playing this sacrificial? I mean, we did talk about Crystal as being this type of a player. You mentioned different builds. This is the one that from a carry Dragonite I have not seen. And I would argue for a good reason.
The closest we'd come to this is when Skeeter was building Blink Mage Slayer Manta with BKB, but Blink Mage Slayer Hurricane Pike, I definitely have not seen this on a Dragonite before.
Yeah, I have seen it on mid DK, right? In situations where these types of heroes that Spirit has are in the game. So generally it's not a bad build versus them, but you are just sacrificing your potential late game completely and hoping that the Sniper is gonna be able to hold his own.
Sniper also going for a Hurricane Pike, not going for the BKB straight after the Gleipnir. Grove Bow, D-Lance, Gleipnir. Of course he found a Grove Bow. Of course he did.
Yeah, one would assume a core player like yourself would be happy with the current state of the Sniper right now, but
I have really bad luck with neutral items, so this does disgust me. I'm like, seriously? Like, come on, bro. How do you get everything that's perfect?
Okay, this was the best excuse ever for losing MMR. I got bad neutrals.
Crystallis is a bit far forward, but the borrow strike from Null catches onto the Sniper and the Chen. With Morty's kisses raining in, both of these heroes are in jeopardy, and the Sniper will fall first. Malik getting hit with the boat, but it's not going to really do enough, and the Timber Chain whirling death onto the DK almost killed Crystallis. Crystallis now held in position by the stun. Do they have the follow-up damage? The Smurfling is not available for this fight. He's making his way over now, but they still found the engagement favorable. Harry, they fought 4v5 and still came out on top, got a big kill and a tier 1 tower.
BandaNoone, for me, are kind of lost in the early mid-game transition to the mid-game. It was the same in the previous game as well. Their item choices, their calls, the way that they apply pressure is just wrong, right? It is nighttime, you need to be on the aggressive with the Sniper on enemy territory, not just get jumped every single time.
Trying to play aggressively now, going on to meet Pushka and Malik. Malik trying to TP out. The Omni Knight will die, but that's definitely good going. You force them to use the Bedlam. Multiple heroes had to rotate to the top lane. And yeah, they're going to get the Tormentor, but the rest of Team Spirit spread across the map. Lord's farming the jungle. King is farming the waves. Omni Knight can die all day, every day as far as they're concerned right now.
For sure, but that was a slight mistake from the Kunkka. The Timbersaw should have died, but he X'd the Omni Knight for some reason. The second that the Repel got used and then you try to go for a TP out, you wait for the last second of the TP, you use the X and you will be able to bring back the Timbersaw. So, slight fluke coming out there when it comes to mechanical skill or thinking at that point, right? You're like, oh, he used the Repel on this guy, I can't do anything, but the Repel doesn't really last long enough.
Who got the shard? So the shard went the way of Ducalis on the Radiant side. So we are going to be having that better persuasion on the Ancients. And then Dire Shard goes the way of the Omni Knight. I mean, this double purification onto the Morphling and the Timber is actually no joke in the middle of these engagements.
It's 65% effectiveness. Was it more? I kind of feel like it was 75. Yeah, I thought it was 225.
It got nerfed when C-patch, I think, was it C or B? One of those patches.
Yeah, makes sense. Because 75 was a little bit too strong. You get 525 HP. It's too much. But Roach being targeted, that's a good move. And especially because now it's daytime, Team Spirit would like to assert their dominance in the map. And yeah, you know what the problem is? They found an AD rune. I think Team Spirit are still gonna fight into this.
Oh, brother, one of the reasons I love you, Harry Freak, is because you called us the AD rune. You kept up with the meta. You understand, it's no longer just double damage. My man, what a G.
It is when you put it in a bottle. Then it says double damage, so...
Then it says double damage, yeah.
Stun! Oh,
so close.
The old Dragon Tail, the one that didn't have a projectile when you're in the dragon form, would have stunned him. Look at that. Well. 660 damage. 660. Who wants to be on the receiving end?
Holy based. He has a butterfly, Vlad's, Manta style, and a special. Of course he has special. Dude, no way, dude. No way.
He's gonna murder them.
The late Law misses his initiation onto Crystallis, but it won't matter because this Dragon Knight. I thought that was a tanky hero. That is not the case. No one now in danger. Gleipnir out onto King, and Satanic knows that he wants to chase the Sniper. Sniper is clear and clear. No one in a much more safe position. This Hurricane Pike actually came in value there, allowing him to get to the low ground and away from Team Spirit.
They saw the AD rune and the butterfly and instantly decided this is not gonna be a fight they'll take. So very smart move to just run away. Losing the Dragon Knight there, you should be happy. He's the only one, and I cannot. This is You know, you talked about the. Have you seen an Invoker 10 minutes in have the same net worth as the Alchemist? I haven't seen a game where a Dragonite is not top net worth, and this game he is 6,000 behind a Morphling. This just shouldn't happen.
Many things throughout this series have just been bizarre and shouldn't have happened. As they smoke up right now, heading in, I want to try find a kill here. Invis rune picked up by Laurel in the river. They just jump onto Rune. Nice quick kill potentially, but no.
Is it?
Miposhka is there. Repel, the purification. Now they might want to think about re-engaging here. I think if you're a Radiant side, you leave. BandaNoone cannot actually take this fight.
You might have the Aegis, but it's daytime. You are on the low ground versus enemies who, well, do an amazing amount of burst damage, and they found the Palace. Yeah, it's gone.
Should be a straightforward kill for them onto this gen. And Laurel maybe finds no one, because no one decided to come to the low ground here. I don't know about this one. They initiate onto the sniper. They really want to try and bring him down. Fire Snap Cookie onto a Morphling illusion. They take out Laurel. Or they take out no one, excuse me. As an Aegis popped. They're both flying in. They're hoping to try and protect the sniper, but the Morty's kisses are there. He doesn't have a BKB. He's just going to end up dead. It's a 2-for-1 engagement. Only Miposhka has been lost for Team Spirit. And with the Burrow Strike from Laurel catching in onto 9 class, 3 heroes have fallen. They might not be done just yet. Crystallis forced to go all the way to the east just for some survivability, but this tower cannot travel, so it will end up being brought down. Team Spirit, they're on right now. This Morphling really starting to present a massive threat, way stronger than any other hero on the map.
It looks like BandaNoone are missing a captain or a coach. You are making some unnecessary positioning mistakes in this game, and then even when you know exactly where your opponents are, the calls haven't been on point this game. Maybe there's two ways to approach this. Either you talk about how you want to play the mid game a lot more, or you always get no one on playmakers rather than positioning based heroes.
I'm with you on that one. Like, it's a night and day difference, the impact he's had in this game relative to the previous one. Because he also owned his lane in this game, right? 2 games back to back, 1 game he owns, 1 game he owns. But the one he's playing a playmaker, the other one positioning based pseudo carry. The difference in the impact on the game is very remarkable. Unfortunately, Crystallis as well, he still hasn't finished this Hurricane Pike that he's been building for so long, Harry. And he's gonna try and like wrap this up while farming the dire side of the map, but is this gonna make that big of an impact?
No, it's not gonna make a difference.
BKBs, bro. No BKBs. Sniper really wishes he had a BKB instead of a Hurricane Pike right now. As this Timber Saw right on his face, he loses his life to Satanic, who stole his 4, and now Law found a 2 hero start on the back edge of the fight with the Morty's kisses raining in. Kunkka, hoping to survive with his Blade Mail, will be able to do so. Gets himself out. This Dark Willow not so lucky, and they go onto the high ground. They find Crystallis and they kill him. 48 seconds, no DK and no buyback available either.
I don't know what you do, really. At the moment, the way that you itemized, you didn't itemize for you to be behind. You itemized in a way that you want to be ahead and not being able to die. And then when the timings came where you were supposed to be together, where you were supposed to be the ones initiating, you got initiated on multiple times, and at this point it just becomes impossible to play.
Well, they just delivered a Conda for the Morphling, so I was just speaking about the lack of BKBs. You're playing into a Morphling Conda with no BKBs, no Pipe of Insight. They call it, they recognize that with this Kunkka dead, unable to provide the auras, there is no chance. GG, well played. Team Spirit showing us that game 1 was tough, it was difficult, but this is not a squad to underestimate. They get themselves the W, and they make this a full 3-game set.
After what I've seen in game 1 and 2, we're getting a clearer picture of what we should expect from these two teams. He's S tier, but in my mind he's decent. More often than not, when I see like Morphlings Timber Saws, it does look like a decent Doom game. And this game, that doesn't really exist, so I'd say in this game he is a little bit less than fine, right? So still okay.
I'm gonna see how this game pans out for him, Malik. both teams are picking off-kilter carry heroes. Right now, the meta has been these long-ranged, these Weavers, these Wind Rangers, these Lunas, these Morphlings. Having a carry matchup of Razor versus Broodmother, not something that we see all that often anymore. And unfortunately for the Razor, I'm looking at this lineup. Like, the stuns are, they have Split Earth, Aether Remnant, and the full Black Hole. If they're able to completely stall up this Broodmother and drain all her damage, she feels super weak. But if they can make sure that she always gets away, you know, terrorize to zone these heroes back, tornadoes to create space, King could just run rings around this Razor in this game.
I think that is the idea. That's why I was thinking, when you said Orchid, I liked it, but also the Phylactery with him not committing in first couple of fights would be cool. But of course, as a carry, you might just go for the straight up right click Brood, a Harpoon immediately after the Echo Saber. Could be cool to see.
Game getting started right now. We are going to be having a 3-1 Bantiru trade, because Crystallis managed to get the outclick on. So that's 3-1 in their favor. Good job being done by the side there of BandaNoone. But long gone are the days, fam, when you just secure the additional bounty runes and the game is like auto-1. Still a lot of effort that has to come from the laning phase.
Were there ever days like that you get the bounty runes and the enemies call GG? I don't...
Early on, when they first introduced them, it was if you got 4 bounty runes, for the first, I think, 2 weeks, you had a 90% win rate. It was insane.
Oh.
It was crazy.
Oh. That's quite a lot, though. But 4 bounty runes, to be honest, are better than the First Blood. I don't necessarily think it should be that way, but sure. Maybe make them just as good.
How about we get 4 bounty runes and the First Blood?
Yeah, sure. You know, in one of those situations when they get a first kill, 4 bounty runes, maybe even a bonus, and you're like, this couldn't have gone better. And like, yes, it could if they got 5 kills. Yeah, no, no way.
It can always be better. That's top lane. First Blood gets drawn by Team Spirit. The kill gets credited to Rue on the Dark Willow. And this Dark Willow, honestly, I feel in this game, this Dark Willow is going to have a phenomenal game of Dota. Like, the only reach that they have on the enemy lineup is this Void Spirit that's going to come in on top of you. But if you just play the edges of the fight correctly, lay down the brambles to inhibit the movement of this Razor, terrorize back the Void Spirit and the Enigma, you can have an amazing game on Rue.
And also, the Dark Willow loves when people run at you. Right, when people run at your team, because the Bramble Maze and the Terrorize is incredibly powerful there. You're not going to be keeping good formation when you're running in like a madman, and that is kind of what the enemy lineup wants to do. The Void Spirit, the Razor, they literally run in, try to create chaos so that the Enigma can get the Black Hole off. The same is true for the Lash and the Enchantress. All of these 4 heroes other than the Enigma run in like madmen.
Speaking of said Enigma, let's take a quick look at his lane. Playing into this Broodmother. Brood, obviously just going to have a decent time out here with the right clicks. There's not really much that they can do as Enigma Leshrac to shut down this Brood completely. But I'm more interested in your read on this Disruptor hero. Why don't we see Raptor more often in games? Because I felt like right now, people buy like a lot of stat items. You know, we have Greaves, we have Pipes and whatever. But this Static Storm spell still feels just so crazy strong. Why don't we see more of this hero in these games?
Because bursting people down is not something that happens nowadays. It's more of big team fights with a lot of auras. In those kind of circumstances, the Disruptor is bad because this hero, his real strength isn't his team fight, it is the ability to give 1 bonus kill. And if you don't have that burst damage, that 1 bonus kill isn't going to be happening. Plus, nowadays, you need the damage of your 5 to get that kill, that initial kill anyways. He doesn't contribute. So that's basically the reason. So I'm curious to see if in this game, because you have the Brood with the Feeding Frenzy, that's quite a lot of damage. You'll be able to bring somebody down fast and then get the extra with a Glimpse. He also went for the Kinetic Fence. We didn't really touch upon it. I've been a big fan of this one. I think there's just so many good usages of it with this new big map that we got a year and a half ago. But a lot of players, as you mentioned, are not going for the hero, thus we are really not seeing it.
See the impact of this fence throughout the duration of this game. when I used to play support, I used to play a lot of Raptor, but obviously I stopped playing it before the facets. So I don't have the full read on exactly how strong these are, but I do think this game, just the presence of this Disruptor, increases the priority of DM getting a BKB. Like, you can't play into Disruptor without BKB as Enigma.
It is a huge range on the kinetic fence. That's one thing that people don't really understand, just how far away he can be standing and still using it.
Fence, they drag back 9class bottom. They're looking for a kill here. They threw in the blood grenade, but 9class has one of his own. And with DM, they stun with the Malefice out onto Satanic. Brought these heroes really, really low, but were unwilling to dive underneath the tower to secure the kill. Good enough to just survive in that situation.
It's dumb, man. You are like, oh, we're gonna kill the Lesh, and suddenly he turns around, and you are just murdering everybody. You cannot sustain through that with just the two of you. You need some creeps to take the hits.
Glimpse back.
Got him again.
Lesh again. They're gonna try one more
time. They have creeps
to go for this kill. Kinetic fence is gonna be out, and like you mentioned, we do have the creeps to tank up some of this AoE damage, and that will secure them the kill. Gets credited to me, Poshka. And I normally, I'm a carry player. I normally get very upset when I see my support get the kill, but this is one hero I want to have as much farm as possible. Disruptor with money, holy base, makes a big difference in the game.
And he's one of the supports that doesn't really have ways to farm all that much, so he does rely on getting kills, participating in kill stacks and whatnot. Does this Disruptor, this bald one with the beard, remind you of our colleague T-Governor? Like, look at this, the same.
Dude, I'm gonna literally taking a screenshot right now. I'm gonna send it to him and be like, bro, you remind me of this guy, dude. He's about to die though, unfortunately, to 9class. Gets glimpse back. Oh, 9class is like, sweet, man, thanks. I'm now closer to where the runes are gonna be. Wonderful, thank you, bro, I appreciate it.
Void Spirit is in trouble. Well, not too much. And you know what? We haven't talked about it, but Laurel hasn't died a single time. He is in it. Yep, over. Team Spirit have won.
Yep. Laurel, no deaths. Laurel keeping up in CS. I mean, he's still being massively out-denied by this Void Spirit, but not being that massively out-CS'd. In fact, after this wave, he should be equivalent. Good times happening for Team Spirit in this early game. That being said, though, they are still 2k gold behind. Like, this Enigma is farming way too well. But the main problem is this Doom is just not finding the lane that he wants it in the top lane.
Get a glimpse.
Gets glimpse back. Actually, the kinetic force is going to be able to slow him up. He cannot progress forward. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can. No one made the rotation to bring down Sunny Days. Rue dies, but they killed Crystallis? Do that again 10 times out of 10.
But the tower did fall. So you are pressuring the Brood. Brood is usually the hero that can pressure your tower early, but not going to be happening this time around. You get his tower down before he has level 6. Now you know that your triangle and your statue area, sorry, your graveyard area are going to be safe for a very, very long time.
This Enigma, top of the net worth at the moment. What is he being ferried from the courier? Okay, just boots and a full wand. Alright, that's chill. Just play the game, open up the map, create some space for your team. And your team might be able to make a smoke play here. They don't have one though. No one has hit level 7. There is a lot of damage available from this Void Spirit if they can find the correct targets. But they're also just happy to run in with their Alpha Wolf. Tons of Enigma Eidolons, a pair of drums, and just beat in onto the tier 1 tower mid.
Yep, that's the approach. But it's like we're seeing the repeat every single time. It is BandaNoone that are getting the early towers. It is BandaNoone that are dictating the tempo. But when they take down the tier 1s is when they get lost. So I am really looking forward to seeing them changing that. In this game, they have a Void Spirit. So in terms of creating or making things happen on the map, he does have the right hero.
Using that Void Spirit to jump on middle, has an Arcane Rune at the ready, hasn't triggered it off just yet. They would love to find this Invoker. The glimpse back onto the Leshrac, so no split earth onto Laurel. In the meantime, DM has also shown up. No Black Hole at the ready, he's only level 5, but still wants to have some impact. Laurel going forward, getting dragged back by the Aether Remnant. There's going to be a big Resonant Pulse onto 3 heroes. Laurel falling low, but he's not dying just yet. Astral Step, though, will provide the damage necessary. They get that kill, and that gave the level 6 to Enigma. He gets glimpsed back, though, cancelling out the black hole as Satanic has shown up, but Satanic is falling way too low.
Can't get him.
Crystallis with the plasma field. That supplies the damage. The Eidolon's finishing off. He is down. And now all of a sudden, Malik, Astral Step from no one, puts him in position. Crystallis with the plasma field to kill off Malik as well. That is several heroes falling here in the mid lane. It is 3 for absolutely 1. And the one you got is just a support Leshrac. He's happy to die in that situation.
Are you seeing why people are not picking the Disruptor? Because it does no damage. You need a little bit to finish off the Enigma. You need a little bit to finish the Void Spirit. You barely brought down this Lesh. And, well, then this is the outcome of the fight. So, on one side, you have a lack of damage. On the other side, we have exactly what we want to see on BandaNoone. No one is making all the plays.
Down bottom. Oh my god. DM able to kill off this Disruptor, but dies in the process. And now, all the way on towards the west, we see this Invoker getting leashed up by Crystallis. But Crystallis is super low on the damage. He ends up dead. Satanic with a double kill. So although they did end up losing a massive fight in this mid lane, they punch back strongly here in the jungle. And you know, you were mentioning this in the last game as well, that once we get into the mid game, it feels like this team gets a little bit lost with their positioning in particular. And the positioning in that fight definitely did them no favors.
Yeah, they have a problem with the get together, disperse, and that is the way that you generally play Dota right now. So you kind of have problems with the way that most of the top teams play. You need to be faster in that regard, and you could see that they didn't disperse fast enough and get together because no one was missing in that engagement. If no one was there, you burst the heroes so fast, you maybe even get extra kills.
Speaking of no one, he's triggered up the Invis rune, heading to the south side of the map. Ideally able to catch out Miposhka. I think they have some degree of awareness that he is here. They don't have a sentry available right now for the Radiant side, so no one is not going to be scouted doing this movement. King would be an amazing kill if they can get down Satanic, but there's no support nearby for no one. There's no way he can do this solo. He needs some help. Sees the Disruptor now. Bit of an easier kill. Miposhka, only level 5, doesn't have access to the Static Storm. He glimpses back to this Void Spirit, but it's a Void Spirit, baby. But he, oh my gosh, he used both Astral Steps. That kinetic fence making the difference. Miposhka will get himself out.
An uncharacteristic mechanical mistake coming out from him. Crystallis?
I don't know about this one, Crystallis. He's leashing up onto Rue. Wants to go forward for more, but here comes the Invoker. Laurel with the Tornado back onto this Leshrac. Leshrac has lost all of his mana, now will lose his life. And look at this, Malik with the Doom. He had the Ensnare from the Dark Troll Summoner, cast it out onto this Razor, dooms him up too. And Law will finish him off for the double kill. This Invoker, man, but the fight's not over. No one. He made the sweep from bottom all the way here to the top side of the map to bring down Malik. At least making this trade a 2-for-1, but ultimately still in favor of Team Spirit with the double kill for Law.
Oh, they're chasing down DM and they know that he's all alone.
He will black hole directly onto Satanic. The Glimpse will cancel it out. There's a Static Storm as well. Will disable some of the spells coming in from the Leshrac. Law dropping in the Tornado. With the EMP burn, they are able to bring down the Enigma. 9 class dies next. A double for Laurel. No one needs to get the hell away from here. And I must say, Harry Freak, bruh, when you see the difference that Team Spirit has when Laurel doesn't have an awful lane, wow, they look so much better.
Yeah, it's... And how can they play like this, BandaNoone? When you have an Enigma, he's trying to control the bottom side of the map, so you either need to surround him with 30 wards and for him to know exactly what's up, or you're always in the vicinity. You cannot just allow this Enigma that is having a decent game to just fall flat and die every single time. He used the black hole relatively close to his tier 1, and there was almost no response. This is unacceptable. And now they're going for the tower in the top lane, and this is the last move that they can take, which is just so straightforward. The other ones really need to be calculated, and they're missing in that department, BandaNoone, quite a lot.
Also, I love this itemization from the Invoker. Him going for this Mage Lair. You know, you're looking at this off lane and you're like, bro, do you actually even, how badly do you need the Pipe of Insight early? Yeah, you can get it a little bit later. pick this up. Now, if I have this Mage Slayer, I right-click the Void Spirit once, and that's their highest net worth hero, dealing practically no damage in the upcoming fight.
Lesh as well. Lesh wants to run in, right? If you're 9 class, with this Lesh, you keep your distance, you don't have an impact. They're gonna ignore you or just trample over you and kill you when they're not even looking. So what you want to do is get super close, but once you do get super close, the Invoker pokes you and suddenly this hero doesn't do much. Very, very smart item choice.
I love this a lot. This is incredible. Still chilling, farming up right now for LoL. And for the side here of the No One gang, they're kind of struggling to make their impact known on the map. No One still trying to farm up, going for this Manta style, but hasn't been able to find a kill in quite a while. This tier 2 tower could potentially be pushed into because Razor for Crystallis is down bottom, but they're positioned from Team Spirit. They have an Observer Ward out as well, so they can defend this tower. I feel like you actually have to leave this area if you are BandaNoone.
I feel right. Feel right for sure, even though they have good vision. The thing is they're just getting pincered from different sides.
Okay. We have some damage going out onto Ducalis. With the Bedlam, this should be able to secure the kill, or not, man. This is an Enchantress. He gets glimpsed back into a Static Storm. Both supports are caught in and killed. Now, though, jump forward from No One. He has an AD rune, trying to put leverage onto the rest of this Team Spirit lineup. He's gotten himself a dominating streak. 15 seconds before the next points into the Astral. So I think the rest of the heroes will escape. But it's 2 for 2 so far, Rue. Shadow Realm will keep him alive. Okay, it's very even in that situation. However, they lost a core on the side of Team Spirit for that one, so BandaNoone will definitely take it.
And the Doom used, right? Finally, BandaNoone do bring enough heroes here. Finally, they play around their vision. The thing is, they're leaving the area to a place where they're not gonna have that much in terms of understanding what's going on. But maybe you can get away with it because there's no Doom.
No, that's not supposed to happen. He was way too far forward, gets jumped on, caught. Yeah, they had to use a black hole to do it, but who cares? In the meantime, they also managed to kill off this Doom. So now that is a 5 versus 3. They're moving forward. Dark Widow getting dragged back. The Shadow Realm not gonna protect her. Looking for the Terrorize. She gets out the Bedlam. It's gonna help a little bit, putting in some damage, but not enough. 3 heroes are down. It's a mega kill streak for No One. And this Void Spirit, just now we're castigating him somewhat for not being as involved as he could be. But in these last 2 minutes, No One has been putting in work on this map right now.
Finally, BandaNoone are gonna be making good moves, right? There's no Doom. You try to overtake the map, you try to play with speed, and you force enemies into mistake. This time around, they were the ones playing without hesitation.
Tier 1 tower take that in the top lane. And this squad starting to get more and more net worth. 4 minutes ago, it was all Team Spirit in the upper echelon to the net worth, but now it is in favor of the BandaNoone. And they smoke up. No One smoking up with 4. It's only Crystallis showing middle, but he's got BKB, first item, classic Crystallis. So he can show like this without being too scared for his life. There's no Aghanim Scepter on this Disruptor just yet.
Doom is available though.
Do they get anybody with this big smoke?
Well, doesn't look like it. Very good positioning from Spirit. And once again, Spirit hasn't gotten a single tier 1 tower. I can't believe that this is happening. I think it comes down to Satanic. He needs to get used to playing at the highest level. If the Broodmother had assisted this team, you would at least take the top tier 1 down, and it significantly opens up the map. Really does change the way that the movements are going to be happening.
Crystallis and the gang situated around the tier 1 tower, ready to take it down. They're going to be trading for a tier 1 top, but you get a tier 2 bottom for tier 1 top every day of the week. Yes, sir.
Sure, I mean, you could now wait a minute and a half and go for Roche. Maybe it would be smart from Spirit to walk into the pit right now to try and force the enemies out of the bottom area, because there's no doubt that once the Roche moves, it's going to be so easy for the Dire side to take it with the tier 2 being down.
Unfortunately, he's not the fastest Rosh in the world. Does go down decently quickly, but can feel like a little bit of a risky play right now. I suppose you just want to finish your items on Satanic, right? Get your Harpoon, get your BKB. The BKB in particular makes such a big difference because as it stands right now, they don't have any BKBs. Yet another game from Team Spirit where no BKBs are on the menu for them. Disruptor will end up just getting caught and killed. And all of a sudden, no one is on an unstoppable streak. 6-0-3 in this game, Harry. This guy has just been playing today.
Yeah, looking good, no one. Individually, he has been the standout performer of the series for sure.
We have a big team fight though, breaking out inside the Radiant jungle. TP out. They commit the Black Hole for the Dark Willow? Okay. Rue will die, but Rue has buyback. And only dead for 30 seconds. I'm not so sure about that Black Hole committal for that one. Even though you really wanted that kill, that's a 3-minute cooldown for a position 4 hero.
Well, they want the glyph in the mid lane. If you get that, then I guess it's okay, but they're not getting it. Now you can't Rosh, most definitely, right? If you try, Spirit can fight you, no problem. And they're going for a smoke immediately. They understand, now it's time to go. Even though you don't have that great vision, it is daytime, so whilst you're in the smoke, you are going to be seeing the enemies before they see you.
Yep. Smiposhka, he's the one leading the charge, wants to find the glimpse on a priority target. And Crystales came back for the last wave. Oh no, but he glimpsed back to Carlos instead. They opt to go for the easier kill onto this Enchantress, but Harry, I don't know, fam. I mean, he has BKB. Maybe he was like, I don't want to force out this BKB charge and we get nothing. But I think at this stage of the game, I would rather, personally for me, I would rather have the 9-second BKB charge gone from the Razor than just grab an Enchantress kill.
The idea is they expect to force enemies into more mistakes after the kill. If you just force out the BKB, the enemies with 5 of their heroes, the Enchantress in general, can posture aggressively and she might give you vision. But because you have killed her, you walk into the pit and you're hoping that you're gonna get more. And if you don't get more, then you get the Aegis in a game that you are quote-unquote losing. So I think I'm okay with it because I understand the idea behind it. But yeah, I agree. A 9-second BKB on the Razor feels better than an Enchantress kill.
Nonetheless, they still do manage to claim the Sages. Satanic, Manta style, Harpoon about to be finished. He actually might hold off finishing the Harpoon to get BKB first. But definitely up there in the net worth department, top of the charts. It's Broodmother doing its thing.
He did finish the Harpoon. Generally, I like the Harpoon more, especially because you've gotten the Aegis. You probably shouldn't be searching for big team fights because those are risky. If you want to win this game, a little bit of split push from the Broodmother and then catching people with the Harpoon if they're out of position is quite nice. Plus, this Slash, you want him to die super quickly. So as soon as you see him somewhere, you just immediately pull him in and kill him. He's going for a Glimmer. I really wouldn't even mind a Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, Ghost Scepter feels pretty pog. Definitely would like that.
It's just not that popular of an item nowadays. Just there's so many defensive items that you can go for, and I guess with the Ghost Scepter, there's really not much you can do with it later on. No big upgrades to look forward to.
What are you talking about, bro? If I buy the Ghost Scepter on this Leshrac, at some point in the game, I'm gonna buy the E-Blade, and then I'm gonna do so much magic damage, bro. It's gonna be great.
At what point are you buying it? Like 50 minutes in? But I get what you mean. Yeah, there is a continuation for it, but overall, players would much rather have a Yules or a Glimmer. It is just it's value because Yules you can turn into a Wind Waker to save your buddies, and Glimmer Cape obviously you can save your buddies anytime.
The big item that's been available on the map has just been picked up. We get an Aghanim Scepter for no one. So Manta Ags on this Void Spirit. And again, we still do not have BKBs on the Radiant lineup. So if this Void Spirit can find and pierce the backlines, in particular, if he can get to Miposhka, who does not have a Glimmer Cape, doesn't have a Ghost Scepter, doesn't have a Force Staff, you just get him once, just remnant him, hit him with the Resonant Pulse, and then just leave him. You know, don't have to worry about him for a few seconds in the fight.
Bursting down the Doom would also be quite nice, right? If you can do it with the silence, it's not out of the question. Smoke on smoke.
Would love to do it, and look who's showing. It's the Broodmother, but not necessarily the target that they want to go on first on the side of BandaNoone. Well, that being said, unless he comes back in on top of the tier 1 tower, but they don't want to defend it. They look at him and they're like, you know what? He's got the Solar Crest Shine on him. He's got an Arcane Rune. We don't really want to fight into this guy. Harpoon though, going forward onto Crystallis. Crystallis finds the leash, and now the jump in onto this Broodmother. Brood made the aggressive play. She will end up regretting it. And she loses her first life with the BKB. Crystallis trying to chase down this Disruptor. Gets doomed for his efforts. Forced to flee away from the fight right now. We're playing underneath the tier 2 tower as the second life from Satanic is there. Black Hole coming in from the Enigma, but the Static Storm Silence cancelling it out, enabling Satanic to kill off this Enigma. In the meantime, Crystallis
it's cleanup
almost
time.
died, but he's cleaning up on the back edge of the fight. Mipushka needs some help. Tornado will help out, but not going to be enough. Law right now looking towards bringing in no one. It's him and Ducalis trying to make the most of the rest of this fight. The Resonant Pulse will come out, but Satanic, he's feeling like the strongest hero in this engagement. Doesn't need the BKB. Has Harpoon coming back in 12 seconds. Doesn't seem like the fight though is going to be favorable for them. In the end, the engagement 3 for 5. One of those 5 being in Aegis, but the defense being mounted by those BandaNones. They defend the tier 2 tower mid. They defend their triangle. They defend tier 2 bottom, and crucially, they get no one involved in these kills without losing his life.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. The Broodmother seems to be needing more damage, right? Because you are killing people, but you're not killing them fast enough. No one is doing it faster, and he's just being way too annoying, right? So I guess a shard will be somewhere on the menu. There it is, right after he finishes the butterfly. The shard is a necessity. Also, in that fight, the Invoker, I think if he turned around and started hitting the Ancients, the lifesteal would have allowed him to survive, or at least have more chances. But he was hitting a Resonant Pulse, Void Spirit, and then you don't really lifesteal.
Speaking of Invoker, he made his way towards bottom. They want to try and kill off this Leshrac, but they fail in doing so. Static Storm, though, will provide some protection, but no
He's
one
gone.
underneath the reveal with the BKB from Crystallis, who links him up, kills him off. Very nice play from the side of the BandaNones.
What?
They go onto the high ground to finish off Rue as well. A double kill for Crystallis out of nowhere. A tier 2 tower in this mid lane. And I don't know what happened there, Harry Freak. It felt like it was going to be okay for Team Spirit, but they were just ready and prepared on the side of the BandaNones.
Yep, and this is what we talked about. They might get a little bit lost in the early mid-game to mid-game, but as we start moving deeper into the game, they start understanding more and more what they need to do with their timings. And I think the dangerous part of the game for them, at least when it comes to being lost a little bit, has passed. So we should be seeing BandaNoone at least on the same level movement-wise as Spirit are at. And considering that, in my opinion, their spell usage has been slightly better than that of Spirit, this is a good look for them at the moment.
No one building into a Lincoln Sphere. I mean, there are ways to cancel that out. Of course, we have Miposhka with the Thunderstrike, with the Glimpse. But I think well, are we at the stage of the game yet? As a support player, are you telling your team, guys, I need time to build Aghanim Scepter on this Disruptor? We need this item more than anything.
No, not really, especially because he's so poor, right? So plus you didn't go for the kinetic field, right? So you have the kinetic fence. You can't really keep them in place as much as you would like. I don't necessarily think that's the way to go. You win this game by Broodmother getting insanely farmed and just murdering people super fast. I've seen it, man. The Broodmother is scary. If you get on top of a target, you destroy it. So you need to make sure that the Enigma doesn't use a really good black hole. You need to make sure that your supports survive a little bit longer versus the Void Spirit, and then the Broodmother will do the same.
Speaking of Brood, she's building into BKB Lincoln Sphere. You know, even when you're not against the team that has the Doom, unfortunately, the reality of the static link has to be dealt with. As a Razor spammer, I still can't believe the spell pierces spell immunity, but it does. So it has to be addressed by the Satanic Broodmother in some way.
It'll make him a non-hero, right? So that's a problem. Plus, he now has a shard, so that is why you need the Lincoln Sphere. Generally, you can escape the Razor. The thing is, when he's constantly pulling you towards him, your movement speed doesn't matter all that much. You're gonna have a really bad time. You cannot escape that easily.
Stala's not that far away from having the full Satanic. He's like, what, 3,000 gold? Should be able to farm that.
Up if he wants to, and it seems that BandaNoone at the moment they're waiting for the Roche. Same is true for Team Spirit. It's probably gonna be a Radiant side Roche. Okay, no, it will spawn on the Dire, but probably will get the travel.
Dude, they have an Observer Ward. They have vision on
Got
Law. Oh no, they've caught this Invoker. They've killed him. All right, who planted this ward? Ducalis, MVP plays right there, my friend. Amazing vision provided, and he's so far away from the rest of his team, and they still want to take the fight though, because they go in. Malik finds the Doom out onto no one. Can they get this Void Spirit out of here? Crystallis doing his best, and there's going to be the Black Hole from DM onto 2 targets. Crystallis able to get off all of his spells. They've lost the Broodmother. They need to get more out of this. TP out, attempted by the Dark Willow, but she gets killed during it. Lol also brought back here. Why did Lol buy back? I don't understand that one.
Well, when he saw a good grab from the Doom on the stun on 2 heroes, he thought that he can make something happen, but he was wrong. He couldn't really connect in time. And this is the thing. Making sure that the Black Hole is not good is your main concern as the Doom. Nothing else. So I'm not really liking that he jumped on the Void Spirit.
Didn't even kill the Void Spirit in that situation.
Nope.
Now here they are on the high ground. Siege Wagon dishing in the damage. Eidolon's helping out. Ducalis throwing in some right clicks. So the tier 3 tower is gone. They don't have a glyph. They also don't have a Broodmother for another 20 seconds. This will be 4v5 no matter what.
It is dangerous, but it does look like they will be able to take it out. Their Siege Creep is attacking the range racks.
Siege Creep is on. No one jumping back in, finding the silence. Needs to get out of here though, because they've lost a lot of HP on this Lesh rack. Lesh falling low, Static Storm will be there, but like you mentioned, no kinetic field. They cannot keep this Lesh inside the field. That being said, we do have Brambles. That'll help out. The rest of the heroes TP out. So they lost their tier 3 tower, but they actually did not lose a lane of racks, and the Invoker destroys the Siege Wagon. The push is over. Team Spirit have held their high ground.
Yeah, the Siege Creep attacking the range barracks there, that was the main reason. If it was attacking the melee racks, the Raxes would have been taken, and of course when you saw that, you probably shouldn't be too greedy. And with that, Spirits are still fine. They are 10k gold behind, but their Broodmother is not to be underestimated. If he does get his BKB, King should be able to sustain through the Black Hole and then just stand his ground and fight.
Bro, why have Team Secret been so reluctant in this series to buy BKB? Just in general?
People tend to delay it as much as possible. It is just so easy to go through the BKB charges if you get it like first or second item.
Sometimes you gotta do it though. That's why Crystallis went for. He's already at 7 seconds, but that 7 seconds will provide value as they're smoked up. On the Dire lineup, they jump in, get the Aether Remnant out onto this Dark Willow, but the big priority target is Laurel, who's eating damage from the Enchantress. Ducalis, with the impetus shots, gets the kill. Now we see this little battle between Lion Class and this Dark Willow. She needs to get out of here. In the meantime, look at this. It's the Broodmother. Brood surrounding several heroes. He needs to get out of here, but this Brood is just way too strong right now. They've already managed to kill off this Enigma. Brood trying to run away. No one there with the Aether Remnant catching the Brood in. Still running through the trees though. What a dodge. Not being caught in by these spells from the side here of the BandaNoone. Malik will not be so lucky. Doesn't have the free pathing of the Brood. Will end up dead. In the meantime, Brood hoping to turn his attention towards this Enigma.
Black Hole
able to get past the kinetic fence, and now Black Hole is back. They got the leash out onto the Brood as well. Crystallis dishing out the damage. DM though, he made the play happen, so he deserves the kill. No one, at the very least, able to get the assassination out onto Rue, and it's a 4-for-1 engagement. It's 5 actually, because they brought back on the Doom, they brought back on Enigma, but that Enigma buyback felt like it was much more impactful than the Doom version.
that terrorized dodge from Crystalis in that fight was a big deal, right? Using the Manta to make sure that it doesn't connect with him. It did spook the Brood, made him just run away from DM, and then it allows DM to survive. DM survives through the Doom. The second that you have the Black Hole back, you can bring down Satanic. I think this is probably the only way that you do kill him. I mean, you can surround him by 5 heroes, Malefice and Splitter, think he's gonna die, but overall, in a big team fight, you need to Black Hole him, and, well, when he is allowed to do it, at the end of the fight, you get the kill on the strongest hero on the map. Very nice team fight in terms of individual plays coming out from BandaNoone.
They get the Aegis now in their hands as well. They give it over towards no one. They're looking at Crystalis and they're like, this man has Manta, Satanic, and a BKB. We actually don't need to protect him. Dude, he also found a Craggy coat. This guy, man. I don't know if you ever want to actually jump on him in the middle of these engagements.
No. The Razor is the one that you try to ignore. He doesn't really have big damage items. Sure, it is not an easy hero to ignore. He does a decent amount of damage, but you don't really have a choice. Bursting him down is next to impossible. I guess you could Doom him, but we've talked about it. He's generally not a good Doom target, and there's other heroes that you're gonna have to think about. So ignore the Razor as much as you can, murder the other ones. If DM dies, the Broodmother should be able to clean up the fight. Nobody else can really control him and kill him that easily because of the butterfly. You do rely way too much on your right clicks on the side of BandaNoone.
Speaking of items, talk to me about this No One Void Spirit going for the Desolator next 35 minutes into the game. You can pretty much afford it almost heads up right now. Actually, I can afford it heads up. What do you feel?
I think he feels that he needs to kill the supports faster, that he needs to make the cores of Team Spirit panic faster, and considering that the game is going well for them, that the supports on the other side are starting to struggle, Deso might just be the most cost-effective item to bring them down.
That makes sense.
It might
Besides,
not
no
be,
one
though.
is 12. I feel like if you're 12, 0, 11, you can do what you want. No one can question you at that point.
I'd still be okay with the BKB into like a Silver Edge or something. I think that allows you to murder them quite quickly as well. This is a little bit weirder. As I said, it might be the most cost-effective item, but I can't really say before we see it in action.
Still thinking about it. Hasn't made the full commitment just yet. 16k gold lead. Oh, there it is. Desolator fully bought. It's going to be coming out right now for this Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's one of those moments. Right, you are thinking, should I wait? Of course not. I'm the best. I'm the strongest. I have an Aegis. Let's go.
Actually going to jump middle. They were looking to find the Doom, but Malik able to blink away just at the last second. And that's a crucial blink too, because he's closing in on his BKB. In a lot of these fights, it's felt like, man, it would be so nice if we had a BKB on the Doom. Speaking of this Doombringer, should he go Aghanim's in this game just to make sure that he has the AoE, he can just stand next to the Enigma, or not having to commit the full spell onto only one target?
I like it. It's not too bad, especially because the enemies have already started getting those Lincoln Spheres up. I wouldn't be mad if Razor got a Lincoln Sphere before his refresher.
Might not get through the refresher because this game might end shortly. BandaNoone drop the Roshan's banner. They're sending in all these Spiderlings to deal with. That's actually such a smart strat. Dude, Satanic, what a player. Nobody actually lost any HP destroying a Roshan's banner. Very atypical in games like this. And now Malik jumping in. He finds the Enigma. There is no black hole available. They should be able to kill him off. And there's a Static Storm drop down as well. Enigma, first one to end up falling. The Razor, though, on the high ground, has enough damage to kill off the Doom. Tornado from the Invoker protects him for a little bit longer. And they turn their attention back towards the tier 3. The tower is gone. How much more can they push this advantage? They failed on their push middle to get a lane of racks. They don't want to go through that again. Zephyr Fortification popped right now by the Radiant lineup. Jump in from no one. He's looking towards Lol. He really wants this Invoker. Not going to be able to find him, but they get Satanic instead. The much bigger kill on the Broodmother. And no buyback carry for 70 seconds.
Yeah, Spirit seems to have understood at this point of the game who the main target is, but while you were understanding who the main target is, BandaNoone became too strong, and now you don't have Satanic. He's your main hero, he's your main damage dealer. I don't know if you have enough in the tank to fight them off without him.
50 seconds. Playing 4v4, but technically 4v5 because they still have this Aegis in the Void Spirit's hands. So,
Enigma will come fast though.
This Desolator, even if it doesn't help kill heroes against the buildings, very, very nice. 2 lanes of racks completed for them. Jump back in. It's going to be no one looking for Laurel. Laurel getting caught in. They forced off him away. So they keep him alive, but now there's no more forced off available for Malik. As he ends up dead. No buyback available for that Doom. And there's now full mega creeps available for the BandaNoone lineup. Will they stick around until the Broodmother returns? No one still wants to be able to commit some of his spells. Going forward, looking for the Dark Willow. Dark Willow will die. No buyback for her either. Oh my goodness. And the worst part about this, dude, they got Black Hole back online. It's ready.
Yep. I mean, he didn't even use it because he got doomed and died. He was the only casualty for BandaNoone. Now he can do whatever he wants.
Go directly into the fight. Black Hole catching out this Broodmother, but the Tornado was there. There's no BKB on the Enigma, so they could not protect them forever. Sunstrike does not connect from Law. These heroes, though, are really, really low. I don't know how much they want to push the envelope. They're going in. Chaos Meteor dropped down by the Invoker, but the Aether Remnant pulls him into the impetus shots. Law will end up dead. He buys back right now, putting in some right-click damage onto the Lesh rack. Lesh is down. Void Spirit will end up committing his first life as they have doomed up Crystallis. Can they get to this Razor though, as this Ancient falls lower and lower and lower? Satanic, he has to lifesteal back into some healthy territory, but it will not matter. The Ancient's being destroyed. GG, well played, will be called. And the BandaNoone lineup upset Team Spirit, get themselves further into the upper bracket, and play a very entertaining game of Dota2.